So in all honesty, we've got to hit the ground running from next season and find ways in obviously to take the club forward, that we're competing at the right end of the table. We shouldn't really be celebrating staying in the division, because I believe, looking around, and I'm sure the managers do, that there's far more than that in the dressing room, especially with the additions that we've gone on through the season.
Well said.
Good answer.
Second part of the answer then,
Any
some of
more?
the new lads that have come in. Biggie.
Go on, Willow, you're a new lad.
Oh.
Go on, Willow.
Scott shut up on a coach, by the way.
This is Pete Williams, everyone.
Enjoyed my time, yeah. Obviously, I was playing league below, stepped up. Boys are decent. Obviously,
Stepped up now, isn't it? What it was.
yeah. Yeah. Had a good time.
Anything about the management, mate?
Obviously, Steve brought me in. He got pied straight away. So these two have welcomed me in very well.
Any more?
Tell them what you told me when you got dropped.
Any other new ones?
Best group of lads I've been with for a while. I said that to Fernie and me straight away. Noticed that straight away. Definitely, apart from them rivals, Ensford, bloody hell. Happy to be here, I must say.
Biggie, go on, give an answer.
For me, probably, it's already been mentioned, spirit's key. Obviously, coming to the new dressing room, straight away you get a feel for the environment, and I've seen the position. You could expect it to be a bit low, but the spirits was high. So from minute one, I definitely believed that we weren't going to struggle to step up, and it was proven. We've all done it together, being hard to beat. All from start, from the front to the back, it's just about spirit, on and off the pitch, the management, and that's key, whether avoiding, going for promotion. If you haven't got that, you're not going to do anything, so I reckon that dragged us through it, and performances reflected that.
I think the biggest thing for me as well, when we speak with the players, when you're in a relegation zone, you know, you go into a game, because I've been in it, and you think, cool, I'm dreading Saturday playing top of the league. But I believe, well, I know, because these players have told me, most of them, every game they went into, they actually believed that we were going to give them a good game, or we were going to go and nick 3 points against them. And I think, as we said in the very first question and answer forum, it's about changing the mentality of the football club. And I think these players have proven now that they can go toe to toe with anyone in the league, because the stats have shown it. Anyone want to see me after, I've got all the stats for you. And they've proven that they can go toe to toe with anyone. Now I think if we can add little bits of quality in certain areas that helps with the squad, them draws that we've got at home and away that have been good points in the end, they turn into 3 points, and all of a sudden, I'm not saying we're going to go and, you know, win the league next year, but it gives you a whole hell of a lot more of a chance to go and do what this football club wants us to do. So, as I said, credit goes to these, but also that mentality's changed, and that's the biggest thing for me and Andy that we've seen, and H.
Will Josh Green be written up for this weekend, or no?
He's desperate to be.
Josh, do you want to answer that? How has he gone?
Go on, Josh, get yourself in.
Yeah, come on, Josh, come on.
I'll be back for the weekend.
It's not too many admirers to start.
Anyone else? Anything else for the players? Millsy's a big character. Anything for Ben? The genie? The genie? No?
He's got fit now, hasn't he?
I've got to admit. No, I've got to admit, I'll say something about Ben, I won't embarrass him. He contacted myself and Andy about coming in, and he how long did you not play for? Millsy? How long did you not play for?
6 months.
6 months not playing, and with all due respect, you were at a level then, you like coaching, weren't you? You weren't playing regularly. So I think at Christmas time, were you in Stafford and you just fancied?
Come watch a game and brought the missus along and saw a few of the lads, and I missed it a bit because the crowd were going and that. I thought, I'm just too good, I've got too much to give the Rangers. So I messaged the gaffer, and messaged me straight back like, what do you mean? I'll get you fit, he said. But yeah, we've got one game left and I'm now fit. So.
Still not fit enough.
Done well though, I've scored more than Jake when... if anyone wants to look at the stats. But these lads believe in me, they made me who I am.
No, he has done well, seriously, he has done well. He's got himself up to speed, and I'll be honest, it's a big summer for Millsy in terms of staying fit and coming back and hitting the ground. That's a fact.
Yeah. No, it's just unfortunate that we've got. He's in the squad Monday because we've only got 16.
I've got all the extended family coming.
They're not in the squad. They're not in the squad.
Could I just on a more serious point? I mean, when you do this be active thing, and obviously because Wendy's putting it all over Facebook, so it's getting a lot of attention. You know, these are like real community links with as a club that we're getting. I mean, is that something you actually saw as something you'd want to do? Is actually get a sort of community interaction through Stafford Rangers?
But I spoke to Carl, we need to have a sit down, John as well, about potentially doing some stuff in the summer, but I don't know where your community programme and everything's up to, but yeah, we've done a bit of work down the road at Tillington and things like that, so there's no reason why we couldn't set some little bits up, I don't think. I didn't come here with a commercial venture in mind. I wanted to play footy, that was the game.
From the commercial side of that activity that you're seeing, I suppose everybody in the room knows that obviously Alex is going to be taking over the academy come September. So he's already got the lads down there. That we've got a session tomorrow at Raleigh Park. We did a session last week for 2 hours. And obviously Alex is going to take that role on for the club as well. That's not saying we can't do anything with Ben, and if it grows the club, anything to get in the community. I mean, I think you've already seen we've had a lot more children here, young children, and that is going to grow next year, because this club has got to get it's a good name out there in the community, and we spend a lot of time out there, and from past again we haven't got a great name for what we've done, but we can only start now to try and build that junior section to get here every week and bring the parents with them, which puts another 60, 70 on the gate as well for us. I know Steve's a big driver behind that, and we're going to be driving that community spirit, hopefully. And if Ben can be part of that, then I think the club's open to whatever. And Alex, you know, because he's giving a lot of his time up fully to sort of be here as well, to do that for us with the academy, and see where we go with that as well.
Can we just clarify this? I think we did at the AGM. These academy lads, if we get a real star, they are contracted to Stafford Rangers, so if any transfer fees come out of that,
Yes.
it comes back to the club.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
They'll be registered, yeah.
Registered.
Yeah.
For how long? 2 years or?
Well, they sign a 2-year scholarship. The level 3 BTEC that they do is a 2-year programme, so it's equivalent to 3 A-levels. They do BTEC Sport level 3. And then within that 2-year time frame, they'll be obviously training every day. So mentally every day and physically they'll be worked like a professional footballer. And then it's basically like everything, how they progress, how they develop on and off the pitch, and becoming part of the makeup of Stafford Rangers and how, you know, we want to play, etc.
So what age are they? 16?
16 school leavers,
School leavers, yeah.
and then yeah, till
They're old enough to play for Stafford Rangers if somebody was really talented.
if they're good enough, they're young enough, or the other way around. Young enough, they're good enough.
They're old enough.
Yeah. So yeah.
Where that leave record under 18s then?
Sorry?
Where's that leave the current under-18? So
Still
you've got
playing.
academy and an
Still
under-18.
playing, yeah.
Some of them are in the academy, aren't they?
Yes.
Some of the lads that have come along obviously are playing, because although they're under 18s, and I think we've got a lad in the room, but I don't know how old was it when he
It's
started?
government
Under 18,
funded.
16? Yeah, so I mean some of them are 16 are already playing. Some of them are playing for Stafford in the JPL League on a Saturday. So there's a lot of lads from the Stafford teams that are coming to the academy. And then there's lads coming from Wolverhampton, they're coming from Hensford, they're coming from round the county, but it's how far.
It's based on education as well, really, the biggest thing. And then obviously the football's the driver.
MVQs or something like that, isn't it?
They can potentially do MVQs. This is just BTEC level 3s. But obviously it gives them opportunities to go coaching, scholarships abroad, if you know there's opportunities for them to develop life skills as well as just football. I will say there's 3 or 4 of the under 18s at the minute who will be with us pre-season. Spoke with parents, and you know, we want to try and nurture their talent as well and bring them along and develop them.
It's one of those central defender by any chance?
Yes. They've all been training with us. We've myself and Andy, you know, keen on using the youth, like we say, if they're good enough, if they're old enough.
Any more questions for the players, or can the players move on now?
No, I just want to say, how difficult is it to play at South Shields than Hensford? Not as the Blazers, but with the travelling. Does the travelling take it out of you a lot, or is it because you're young and don't bother to
pay for an hotel? It'd be great.
I don't think it really has an effect. Once you're there and you're there, most of the lads keep themselves in check. So I think once they're there, mental state is on the game, ready to go. I would say from personal experience. And it's good to be on a coach, spending 3 hours with 15 lads and Willow don't shut up. So it's a good gig. So it's a full day out as well. Leaving 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, and you're getting back 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Say Workington, well we lost them now, but say Whitby, Scarborough, all of them. And it's a good experience, especially for the young lads that will be coming along with us. It'll be good for them. Definitely.
Any questions for Joe Cuff, because he's very quiet? I'd like him to answer a question. Go on, ask him a question.
Day of the week is it? Day of the week is it?
No? Go on, someone answer it. Ask him a question, please.
Yeah, Alex, you're quite animated on the touchline. Do any of the players take any notice of you?
Maybe not.
Which of the players don't?
No, I think generally I'm obviously very enthusiastic, got a bit of energy.
The good thing is, and you won't hear this, but he'll the way he is so animated in the dugout, and then if I pop up and say something, they go, Fernie, relax. That's straight away. True. Yeah, true.
Very true. I've got a question for Joe Cuff.
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
6 plus 6, I mean.
Are you really disappointed that nobody's asked you a question tonight?
Not really, but there we are.
Thank you.
Does he play better when he's on the opposite side to the dugout, or when he's playing close to the dugout?
There you go.
Further away from beach, I reckon.
He would say that.
That's right. He keeps me concentrated and helps me. So.
Yeah. Thing is with Joe, and I don't mean to embarrass him, is he's got loads to learn still, but he's still a young lad, and you've never really been coached, have you, Joe? So in terms of off the ball positions and things like that, and concentration levels, he's a little bit different to some of these in terms of pedigree of where they've come from. And I say it to him, and I'm not saying it behind his back, but if Joe wants to progress in the game and play higher than this level, which he's shown potential at times that he can, he has to learn now. That's the thing, because he's not, if he gets to 25, 26, and so his time's now to basically be a sponge, get all the advice he can, try and develop him. So if you think I'm always having a go at him, it's not. It's just to try and help his game and develop him that way, and try and learn him the basics of the game sometimes, that's all. Top player, he scored 9 goals. And you? He's
I
going to
think so, don't know.
There you go.
You made the one on Saturday.
Yes, he has. Yes, he did.
9 goals, see? I know more about him than he does
How many
himself.
assists?
He made that goal on Saturday.
You got an assist on Saturday?
What about Monday? It was Monday.
Assist on Monday, yeah.
Monday.
Oh, is Jack Sherritt going to knock one in from 25 yards like he did last year?
That's all we have to if you want.
Do any of the players fancy chancing their hand at management and coaching in the future or sooner?
Some
I
of them can
definitely
just
would.
tie the laces.
Not going to get on the back just yet, but no, yeah, definitely something I'd look at doing in the future. I don't think I'm ready, nowhere near ready yet. Good few years off yet. Mitch keeps telling me I've got 4 years left, but I don't know yet.
That's it, no other managers in there. Max, back to being a manager.
Just from us guys before we go, my missus rang me 4 times. It's been superb, and the way that the fans and everything have got together and the singing and all that sort of stuff. And we do see everything that goes online. Lads, a lot of them say like they stay away from it, but it's lovely to get home and you've got notifications and people are writing nice things about you. So if you can keep that up and tag me in, that would be great.
Lads, if the lads want to go now, and then we'll stay for a bit more, no problem. Now you can ask the serious questions now, Luke.
Yeah. What are you going to win for?
When are you going to predict the right results?
See you in a bit.
2-1 to Matlock. Wow.
Well, I always get it wrong.
Can I just say finally as well, you know that we've talked about the players' fund at the start. Sometimes in the past, where it's been experienced in other clubs, fans have paid for one particular player, or they call it like a marquee signing. That isn't what myself and Andy want to happen here.
Quite right.
Because in the past, there's been experiences where the fans bring in a player, he's not doing it on the pitch, a bit of pressure on him, he knows, the fans start getting on his back, or they become injured. So that's basically something that I wanted to touch upon, that won't happen here. It will be in terms of putting it into other players and things like that. So,
But our biggest transfer fee for a player, £10,000 I believe, lasted 6 months.
yeah, so there you go. And it has happened.
Such a disappointment.
Oh, well, whatever. 13,000.
Well, we're not asking you to provide transfer fees because we're just trying to get the budget to a level where we can be more competitive. We'll never, let's be honest in this room, we will never in the short term be as competitive budget-wise with some of the people like Baseford and South Shields and Scarborough, throw money at it and with benefactors or big gates. But we believe through our experience and our contacts and H and us that we can get lads to come in here and be of a good enough standard and the right personality to make us competitive on that pitch. And like Mitch says, we're not going to be stupid enough to say, hey, we'll go and win the league or we'll be top 6. So we believe we can get there, but it's going to take some effort to do it,
And we need all of you again, that's what you're saying.
We need the majority of those lads that were there, let's be frank, there might be 1 or 2 that aren't, and that might not be our choosing, that might be their choosing, but things, we're confident we'll keep the nucleus together, without a shadow of a doubt, and, we're hoping that on Saturday, at the awards night, we might be able to make some announcements about who's staying next season, but you've got to be careful that you don't make certain announcements that upset others because you haven't spoken to them yet or whatnot. But
Is that based on actual contract?
well, club at this level, you've got to be careful that you've got to have a right balance between those that are on contracts and those that are not on contract. And this season we've had very few on contracts in relation to other clubs. And certainly the calibre of player that you'd want to bring in to improve us would come with the realisation that they want a contract, because they've always had a contract. Now, there's a couple of lads that we're hoping to retain where we will move them from non-contract onto a contract basis as a reward for all their efforts last year and maybe the distances they're travelling to come and play for this great football club. But equally, you've got to be careful when you've got a very tight budget that, you know, I'm sure that everybody knows, once you agree to a contract with a player, you pay them every week, whether they're in good form, bad form, injured, suspended or whatever. So you've got to be careful that you don't have so many on contract and then suddenly you lose 3, out injured all season, and you're still paying them.
Before we had that approach to Theo, didn't we? Obviously you turned it down.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah.
You want to protect the people.
Well, we couldn't turn it down, it was Theo that turned it down.
It was Theo that turned it down. Well, if a club puts in 7 days notice for a non-contract player, the power is in the player's hands. Because you cannot prevent, well, the only thing you can do in that 7-day period before the club speaks to him, you can go and offer him a contract or offer him more dough. But most players I know will go, nice one, Fernie, I'll wait till 7 days to see what they're offering me before I sign to stay here. But I've got to say, fairness to Theo Bailey-Jones, straight away he said, I'm not signing anyway. I'm staying here, because whether it was me and Meach or Steve Burr, because we had him at Stadium his last season, that's the most games he's played in a season, because he's had a stop-start career with big injuries, and he just loves playing. So, you know, again, you gamble. Do I go and play for Buxton? You might get in for 3 games and then be out of the manager's plans. Whereas I think here, with the progress he was making, you can't guarantee him a game, but you know, he's been on the team sheet every game this season apart from Monday when he was injured. You know, that's the first game, in case you didn't know, that he's not featured in our side this season on a league game. I think he's had 37 starts and 1 sub-start from 38 games prior to Saturday, Monday, which was the 39th game.
Is he fit for Saturday or Monday?
Pardon?
Is Theo fit for Saturday?
Well, again, as a management, we could probably say he's trained tonight. He's probably available for Saturday, but would you leave him till Monday? That's the decision that Alex and I have got to make.